Welcome to the Goodwood Show.
Welcome everyone to another The Goodwood Show. Today with the unpredictable Bangerz. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So, which one are we gonna have today? It's Carrie or Bangerz, right?
You
Which
can call me
persona?
Bangerz. Yeah, go
It's
for Bangerz.
go Bangerz. But it's
Mm-hmm.
did you kind of mix the kind of the characters? Because I assume like Bangerz is kind of a persona, right? Carrie probably is
Yeah, Carrie
a
is like my
person like everyone
name.
else, right?
But yeah, Bangerz has been my like internet alias basically. It started from like I was an artist on Instagram and my handle was Bangaroo, and then when I came to Web3, I just got rid of the O's. So
what is your past experience? I saw that you done some startups not related with crypto, things about vaccines and
oh
helping
yeah.
underdeveloped countries. It's quite surprised now.
How did you find that information?
I don't know. Surprise.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, that's crazy. No, that was like my first foray into entrepreneurship. Like I studied chemical engineering
Mhm.
at in university, so I sort of have like that kind of like background, and then through my university I got into like a accelerator program. I did like a international pitch competition for that startup, which was like a social enterprise. Um, and it was like tackling the problems of vaccine distribution. So that's like how I got into entrepreneurship. I did that in like my last year, and then post grad, and that's kind of was I sort of like my journey, sort of realizing like, oh, I don't want to be a chemical engineer. I don't want to get a job. I just want, I don't know. I wanted to make stuff, and that sort of like led me to where I am now. So it's been a journey.
So when you started, you went straight to Solana, or did you try other blockchains? How you started through NFTs because you were connected to art? Was that the journey?
Yeah. So I tried Ethereum first. So like my journey, like kind of getting into crypto was like I had this art page on Instagram, and everyone was hitting me up, being like, "Are you gonna do NFTs?" All of that, because this is when NFTs were like this big
Yeah.
thing. And it was that craze of like, and so then I checked the platform on Ethereum, and I made my first NFT, which was actually like a great NFT, like really awesome NFT. It sold for I think like 1.1 Ethereum, which was really like
Wow.
it was good. It was a collab. It was an animation. It took freaking forever. If you can find it on Foundation, is still there. If you can find it, yeah, it was fun, but I just like didn't get like at that time I didn't really get like what was an NFT. Like I didn't really like the concept of having to like pay money to upload my art and then pay money to delete it and to like burn an NFT. It was like $100 or something. Like I was like it was just like very weird using Ethereum. And I mean, I'm not stupid, right? Like, so it's like me as like a very like smart person, like I would say, like I was just using Ethereum. And I'm like, this seems really dumb. I don't know why everyone's using it. And so like I just like stopped after that. And then it was someone who was like one of my followers DMing me, who became like a good friend, got me into Solana NFTs. And that's sort of once I minted an NFT on Solana, I was like, oh, I get it. And then the rest is history. And so that's how
There's no
I
turning
got
back,
into
right?
crypto.
There's no turning back. But
Mm-hmm.
did you try any other, or just Ethereum? No other blockchains? No, you didn't catch an eye for
I mean,
anything.
I've tried other chains like
Nice.
now, but no, I tried Ethereum first, and then I was like, this is weird, and then I used Solana, and I was like, this makes sense. And then I was on the side of Solana the whole time while everyone was still saying Solana was stupid and Ethereum was gonna win, and I was literally just like, how dumb are you all? And I was right, obviously. So I'm coming from a place where like yeah, that was right. So to have conviction in Solana for that long, but I feel like you probably were there too.
Yeah.
You were with Mind folks, of course. You were on Solana
Yeah,
early.
yeah.
But certain people that I won't name were not. So
Yeah, and the vibes like at the time
just me.
were already massive, right? Everyone was like the hype. Okay, on Ethereum as well, but I think Solana was different because it was a smaller community, right? Everyone kind of knew
Mhm.
each other at some point. and was easier to connect, even like to connect with founders and connect with the whales. Like Soul Big Brain was uh, super approachable, right? So I think, yeah, I identify myself as well, because it's like you don't go back. A question I wanted to ask you actually is funny, because we are in a space where everyone kind of hides their faces. You put your face out there, right? You know, you're not
Yeah.
like you are the
Yeah.
queen of cringe or whatever they call you. Doesn't matter, right? It's
Thank you.
the important part is that people talk about you, and that you are seen, and right, because that is what you kind of do. If you are a content creator, if no one speaks about you, you are not a content creator, right? If you don't show. Why did you start it? Was a click? You saw other people doing it, and you're like, no, I want to do this. This is the way.
Yeah, I
Things.
mean, I like my like previous content when I was like an artist, like I really wasn't like showing my face a lot. I was like more like my art, what I was creating on my iPad. Um, and then I kind of like got more into it through that because I sort of realized, oh, like I'm building this brand. I'm also, you know, selling merch. And I knew that like people wanted to like connect right with more with me. So I kind of got into it a little bit more doing that, but it still really wasn't something that I wanted to be like super outward facing on my art page. So it was like more about art. So I came into like Twitter as an artist, and so like the majority of the content I first created was like art. So I would do a lot of fan art for like NFTs and stuff. And that was a really great way to like meet people, get followers, you know, just like draw an NFT in your style, and then you'd have a ton of little PFPs in your notifications, excited about it. So that was cute. But yeah, I started to make some videos. I think like my first like real video was the microwaving the saga phone.
Oh, the famous one, the famous one.
Yeah, and that was just like a meme. Like I had tweeted like 100 likes and I'll microwave it or something. And I think I got a lot of likes. And then people were always in my comments being like, you won't do it, you won't do it. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. I'll make like a little prank video. And then yeah, I just kind of kept going. It was fun. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and then after that, you got mentioned, I think, by even Tolly and the guy from Drip House. Like,
Hmm.
and you were on Blockworks and stuff, like doing an
Yeah.
interview on an article. And it's funny, like, how was the reaction? Now, did you feel the difference between you being less out there, let's say, and then suddenly everyone knows you?
I mean, I thought it was funny. I think like I was still kind of like sharing content. Like I was definitely like posting photos and stuff. I think I like maybe like would have done like a video or two before. But I think that was, yeah, obviously it was like hilarious. It was like so funny to kind of like make that like such a meme and have it have that response. And then I did like the part two where I showed everybody how I fooled them, which I thought was hilarious. Like I am kind of diabolical. I was very like
The behind the
surprised.
scenes, behind the scenes.
Yeah. I thought that when I posted that microwaving video, more people would be like, this is fake. There
But
was
no,
like, no, everyone was like, "Oh my God, she really did it. She's freaking crazy." Um, which I guess I did like a good fake. Like I owe it all to like hair gel, which I put in the phone case, and that made it look really gooey, like it melted, and I think people really believed it. But yeah, it was completely fake, and then I kind of dunked on everyone and was like, "You're all silly. It's fake," and you believed
it's
it.
crazy. Did you have
Yeah.
any inspiration in terms of other content creators before you started that said, "Oh, I want to do something like this person or that person"? There was not that many at
Um,
that time. Like Jakey, there was a bit a bit crazy as well. Like, but I'm not
yeah.
sure if there was that many.
I mean, I think like inspiration, I feel like I take inspiration from other creators like every single day, every time I scroll. Because really that's I think like what it kind of takes like to be successful is like you really are recycling content. It's like there's no such thing as an original idea, even though there's
Mhm.
obviously original ideas. Like I think a lot of ideas even come from like inspiration, seeing something and be like, oh, how can I do this in my style? Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of inspiration came from a lot of different places.
Yeah, you are a mix of influences. Yeah, yeah. So,
Yeah.
and then I know like that people started to be a bit critical because your approach, right, a
Yeah.
bit out there and stuff. Did that affect you, or you didn't care, or you sleep well at night, regardless of the comments?
I always just thought it was funny, you know, like just like trolling people, like because it's like at the end of the day, like I'm playing a character, and so like it's
Yeah,
just
exactly.
funny to see like what people's reactions are. Like, you know, so many people will just like get upset, and I just
Yeah,
think
yeah,
that's
yeah,
like
yeah. I
so
saw
so
crazy
silly.
comments. Saw
Yeah. And
crazy
then some
comments
of those
about that.
people also realize that I'm like baiting them, and so then sometimes I'll get another comment being like, "Oh my God, I fell for it. I'm so embarrassed," and it's just funny.
So you were almost like the founder of the engagement farming, right? You were farming on people that doing that
Yeah, I
comment,
mean
kind of.
that's I'm very flattered by that. To hear that, but I mean I think there's a lot of farming that's always going on
Yeah.
online everywhere. So yeah, it's kind of just
W-
you gotta farm.
Why do you think that political or kind of controversial content actually does better than the good content? If I put like a post of my, I don't know, what my dog, people, it's nice, but and then someone is like doing crazy stuff and I don't know how many views, right?
Hmm.
Is that
Yeah.
just human behavior or is crypto Twitter?
No, I mean I think it's like Twitter globally.
Mm,
It's just I think it is human behavior too. I mean it's just like polarizing, right? Like you and your dog isn't polarizing. Like I think if you were dyeing your dog pink, right?
yeah,
If that was the video, then you'd get a lot of people that were like, "This is animal abuse," and then other people would be like, "No, he's using animal safe dye," and then that would be the
yeah.
discord in the comments. But it's just like, yeah, you reference like political stuff, like that is just something that's like so clearly like division, right? So then you get that discourse, which is really it's all just engagement, right? So the more people that are commenting, whether it's something that like makes them angry or something that they're in support of, that just like goes to overall boost whatever post it is in the algorithm. So
Did you understood that or was just trial and error? Or you understood? I have to do it like
I
this
think,
because.
yeah, I think my content was kind of like iterating towards that, and then the more hate that I got made me just
Mm,
want to like trigger them more, and so I just kept going with that. But it was never really like my intention. Like I think my character sort of just like
okay.
evolved. Because like the microwaving my phone was like I'm kind of just like I'm just doing something stupid and seeing if people believe it. It was never like meant to really rage bait, which I don't really know if that rage baited. I think a lot of people were just like, "Oh my God, this girl's crazy." So I don't know.
And you were always like this in your like personal life, or you were like introvert? You're not the like the queen of the party or anything, right? You or
Well, I mean, I like to have fun, and I think I'm entertaining. So I would say that
okay.
there's a bit in both worlds for sure.
Was there anything that you actually done that you thought, okay, this was a bit too far. I shouldn't have done this, or
Yeah, for
there was
sure.
there
For
is.
sure. I mean, there was one where I did like a get ready with me, and then I ended up dressing up as like Pepe the Frog, and I
The
just like
pink one. No,
no, you haven't
not
seen
that
it,
one.
and good. It didn't go
Okay.
super viral, but I remember like I look back on that and I'm like I really put myself in a crazy ass fucking costume. It was just like ridiculous.
But there's one
Yeah.
about the pink Pepe, right? Or is that one
That
you're
I think
talking about, right?
that might be Pink Chain. I was also the Pink
Okay.
Pepe. Like I also LARPed as a Pink Pepe. I drew myself as a Pink Pepe. That's why my PFP I have horns. And then in my header you can see it. I don't really draw that much though anymore.
You don't do any art at the moment, right? Or
Oh, I make art. But I like don't really draw as much on iPad. Like I'll
mm,
do like just like paper more so.
okay.
Because yeah, I don't know. I feel like AI kind of replaced a lot of that for me.
Mm.
Like if I want to create something digitally, like sure, sometimes I will absolutely draw if it's like easy, but I think in a lot of cases it's easier to prompt. So
And you get
yeah.
sometimes a very good result, right? We in terms of, so have you been using AI much more in the last so you are an artist that are not against AI because a lot of artists are a bit like,
I
oh
know.
this
That's funny. That's also another thing that will get controversy online. No, I'm definitely pro AI. Yeah, I'm an artist for AI for sure. I think at the end of the day, it's a tool. So it's just kind of like a pen or paint.
Yeah, exactly. Like Photoshop was back in the day, right? When people didn't have the skills and they say,
Yeah.
"Oh, are you faking the images? What is this?" Right?
Yeah.
It's another tool. It's funny because you won the Meme Lord of the Year
Yeah.
award, right?
I did. I did.
How was that in this? How was the reaction?
That was fun. Well, I was also like presenting the award show. So that was
Yeah,
like fun
you
to
co-hosted it, right? The
with
community awards,
clicks.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very weird to present and then also get an award, but like whatever.
Yeah, but so it's funny because Vibu mentioned you as like what is the more shareable content so horrifically bad that you can't look away.
Oh,
It's quite a bit of he's kind of a bit of
awesome.
a harsh person
What a
sometimes.
compliment.
It's a
Yeah.
compliment, but it's weird. What, for example, like for your family, what when they ask you what you do for a living, what do you explain, or how do you explain it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's definitely hard to explain. I think it's even hard to explain to like my friends that
Yeah,
aren't like familiar with crypto, right? But yeah, I mean, like obviously, like my parents are very excited when I'm like going to conferences, I'm speaking, I'm doing stuff like that. So they understand that I have a professional career. They may not be like as aware of like the weirdness that I post online. But yeah, like they were familiar with like my art page, my brand, and so a lot of my drawings were like pretty out there and everything. So I don't think it's the weirdest thing that they've seen. So
and
yeah.
you've been to a lot of conference now recently, and I think a few years as a guest, as a speaker, and now
Yeah.
I think you are part of the Super Team US as well.
Superteam Canada. Yeah.
Oh, Canada. Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I didn't mean to offend.
I'm Canadian, so yeah.
But it's nice, right? So what Super Team is doing, uh, building the communities, local communities, right, and bringing the builders, right. In this case, you are not a
Hmm.
builder, but you're content creator, so you bring.
I'm a builder.
You are a builder. I know. We go there in a
Yeah.
minute. I feel that your content has been less chaotic, let's say. Is that because you, like you said, you now building stuff and you have to be a bit more serious? I don't know. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I think like it kind of like comes in waves. I just try to do things that I want to do. Um, I think like I've definitely been like kind of caught in the cycle of like feeling like I need to post, feeling like I need to make content. That was like very much my experience in Web 2. Especially when like my page grew and then you're kind of trapped in this cycle where I'm like
yeah.
rushing to get stuff out and it's really not my best work and everything. So yeah, I mean, I feel like I've definitely taken a backseat in terms of creating content, but it's a bear market. It's
Yeah.
boring. There's not as much to talk about. It's really just Pokemon. Um, so I mean, bear markets are for building,
Yeah. And for
really,
networking, right?
and for networking, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens if things start to pick up a little bit more. But I think like a lot of things that I would put content out about would be sort of like commentary on what's going on in the space. And I think there's just like there's way less material to work
Yeah.
with these days. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't want to be like it's boring, but I'm like the last day that crypto that everybody was talking about the same thing was probably the drift hack, and that was like a month
Okay.
ago.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like talking about like those events where it's like everyone's talking about it. It's like, of course, you know, we want to make content about it. Um, but yeah, I mean, that's not really an excuse. Like, I think it's nice that you're kind of calling me out on this. Like, obviously, like I'm not making as much content, but I just really don't feel pulled towards that.
I don't even feel that is less content. I think it's more approachable, let's say. Not as crazy as when kind of you started and everyone would jump on your comments to criticize. Now it's kind of slightly more constructive in your way, of
Yeah.
course. But I understand, like now it's bear market, everyone is building. Like you cannot make fun of people building stuff. It's boring. I know that you have the tree land is still ongoing, right? How did you started that? What was the vision at the time?
Yeah. So like my co-founder and I both had like have like very similar kind of like paths, in that we both had like large art brands, art pages on Instagram. So we kind of like knew of each other before. We knew of each other's pages. And then I got into Solana first and I started posting with this metaverse project. I don't know if you remember Desolates.
No, actually, no.
Yeah, it was like you owned an NFT. It was like a browser-based world. You could add your other NFTs into it. And I was like, oh my God, I get it. Web3 is composable. It's all of this. Oh my God, I'm going to learn Blender. I'm going to build a metaverse. So I started posting about it. And then Carlos messaged me. He's like, oh, what is this? I was like, it's on Solana. You should get a planet. We could build something. He's like, no, I'm going to build my own metaverse. I was like, okay, see ya. And then like a month later, he came back and we got on a call and he showed me like a better product than what I was using. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. And so then we started working together. And we're still figuring out obviously what we're going to build. We eventually iterated towards like building like a space for creators. So like galleries, hosting like art shows and stuff. It was fun. It was just like a lot of you do a lot of product. The product could do everything. Carlos was just adding like a million features, and it's like I think we had some core users that were like obsessed and like were build these huge
Oh,
things.
really?
But for like the average person, it was just like, oh, okay, I get a little room, whatever. Um, and you know, the metaverse, like it really didn't take off, right? But for us, like what we found traction in was like with NFT minting. So then we rebuilt Three Land to be an NFT launchpad. We launched a lot of NFTs. That was fun. It's always chaos, which is a good time. Um, but then you know NFTs kind of died, and so then we iterated towards what we have now, which is Gib Meme, which
Yep.
is like a meme coin trading card game. So that's just that uses like NFTs. And so yeah, we've been building this whole time. It's been almost like 4 years working
So time
together.
flies. Time flies, right?
Yeah, time flies.
So you kind of shifted to a card trading game. Do you think cards are still a thing? I remember that actually crypto started a little bit with the NBA Top Shot, I think. That was the biggest, even pre whatever Solana NFTs, everyone was on Top Shot. 'Cause it's kind of a collectible kind of thing. And now we kind of see the meta coming back, right? It goes around,
Yeah.
comes around, right? Did you see that this is something they're gonna stay, gonna grow
I mean the trading card meta, like you're talking about the trading card meta specifically.
in general? Yeah. The trading card.
Yeah. I mean, I think yes. I feel like there's always usually like with every cycle, there's kind of like a definite winner. Right. So Pump.fun kind of like invented meme coins and like then that was the game, right? Like it's the game, it defines the game. And now I do feel like it's like very much gotcha machines. Which I think has like way more potential than meme coins,
Okay.
right? Because there is like this like underlying IP associated with it. So it's kind of like a Trojan horse for gambling. It's really just like, hey, do you want to open some Pokemon packs? And people are like, yeah, I love Pokemon. And you know, they don't really realize that like, you know, you're probably gonna spend money and then you're gonna lose the money, even though you can sell it back. Obviously, if you're just doing it to open the pack and the experience, keep the card, then of course maybe it's not. But you know the stats are it's like 95% plus of the packs that are open are sold back. So people are using it as a gambling mechanism. That's why these platforms are making so much money. And that's awesome. That's great for them. But yeah, I do think it will probably continue. Whether like the Pokemon market sustains, I don't know. I feel like this is like very dependent, obviously, on the Pokemon market going up because people are speculating on that. But I do feel like it's a lot nicer in terms of like an onboarding mechanism than meme coins. It's like people that already have positive associations with, you know, a childhood thing that they liked. So yeah, I'm like probably more bullish on that than the Pump.fun meta.
There's something new happening on Solana, and you can hear it. Sol Radio is a 24/7 radio stream and original tracks only. No copies, no noise, just real vibes from the ecosystem. If you're part of the space, you need to hear this. Discover Sol Radio now at solradio.fun.
If you want to explain exactly what is Gib Meme, and does it compete with Magic Eden in some way? Because Magic Eden is trying this kind of stuff as well, opening packs.
I mean, it's a game,
Hmm.
so not really. Like, we don't really
Okay.
open Pokemon packs. It's just like our own cards. So basically, every card is attached to a different coin, and its power changes with the market. So, like, if the coin is going up, the card is stronger. If it's going down, it's weaker. And
Okay.
that's pretty much like the basis of the game. You submit decks, and then the decks battle with other players at different times. And so you keep playing winners. Winners have to play winners in a bracket, and then your power is basically just like the deck power that is changing by the minute with the market, really. That determines who wins. So it's sort of like a prediction market game. It's a little bit like fantasy
Okay.
football, but for meme coins. So, like, the better that you predict the market, the more you win.
So you do only with strong meme coins or like Bonk,
Yeah,
Pepe,
yeah, basically.
not okay, not what is
Not
coming out.
cards that were created yesterday. No, not meme coins that were
Okay.
created yesterday. More like, obviously, like, if there's like a community associated with, if it's been a long like alive for a while, then yeah, those are all like kind of criteria that we look for. But I mean, people are still trading. Like,
Okay.
there's definitely still meme coin activity going on, even though we might be in a bear market. So
And it's going good, right? The project. There's no competition,
yes.
right? There's no apart from what I said, Magic Eden probably, but not exactly the same. There's no other platform doing similar things, right?
I haven't seen another meme coin trading card game.
So it's good. Do you think it can peak, like if it starts to become successful, like everything in crypto, people just start to copy what you have, or doesn't even concern you?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it really concerns me. I mean, I think the hardest thing is like getting kind of like your initial users. So I'm not really worried about other people that are trying to do that. I also feel like we're in like such like a weird little niche that it's not really like everyone wants to build the next Gacha machine. They want to build
Yeah,
the next Pump.fun, right? But I feel like we're kind of like in our own little bubble where it's like we have this little game, we have this little like card economy, and that's cute. And I think really the challenge is just staying alive long enough until like there's inevitably like a moment where it's like, oh my God, this is a huge thing and it blows up. Because that happens all the time. You get those moments like twice a year. Um, you just get something that just goes
just
crazy.
yeah,
So,
goes crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you because at Breakpoint, you said in Web3, like the community is everything. Like the cult is what defines everything, not the market cap. Do you still believe that, or in the bear market
That's funny.
it's harder to have cult?
That's funny. I mean, I just think like less people are here in a bear market because I think a lot of people are financially motivated, and so like in a bear market, there's just like less financial opportunity, which means people withdraw and they go back to their regular life. So yeah, I just think that means like less community members overall. But I mean, no, like obviously at the end of the day, like the reason why we're still here, the reason why we're even talking is because we're part of a community. So ultimately, that's like the most important thing. Yeah, obviously, it'd be nice if Solana went higher. Like, we would both be happy
Yes.
as community
Ah,
members,
yes.
right? If Solana went back to even $100. So yeah, I mean, it's just it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah. I saw an increase in female content creators, especially on Solana. Did you think that you had influence on that?
I
As
hope so. I hope so. I mean, I think like a lot of girls that are in crypto, they get a lot of hate, and I think like from what I've experienced, I mean, like I know just a lot of like my friends, people would be like, "How do you handle that?" And it's like, I'm crazy. Like, I think that's fucking hilarious. But I know like a lot of like my friends who are women that are in the space are just like, I hate that. And I've like seen the way they react when they get it,
yeah,
and it's just like that. Obviously, like you don't want to feel like that. So like I think maybe a lot of if you're a female in crypto, maybe you would default to like not wanting to show your face, not wanting
yeah,
to like receive hate like that. So I think yeah, obviously it's very good that more women are comfortable doing that. And I also think it means like our community is probably like maturing a little bit, and like hopefully there's like less of that mentality.
Yeah, I was asking if you think that is because this is a space mainly with males and young ones that don't actually measure what they say and the impact of what they say, even if it's online.
I think it all comes down to human behavior, and I think that was very interesting that you mentioned that. Because I feel like really our crypto society has been like the most interesting analysis of human behavior
Yeah,
ever. I think like the people that are in crypto are more risk adverse, and I think out of like a demographic, the majority of people that take risks are men more so than women, right? So I think that's sort of how we eventually got here, and then of course that compounds where it's like obviously if you go into a room and you feel like you don't feel like there's people there that are like you or that value you, you might want to leave the room. And so I feel like, you know, when a woman comes into crypto, or especially maybe how it was like in the past, where it's like
yeah,
very heavily male dominated, there's not a lot of female voices. It's kind of just like, oh my God, like, especially if they have like a bad first experience, maybe they receive hate, whatever it is, they would want to leave. So I just feel like that was kind of the situation. I think it's getting much better now.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, it's developing, it's maturing, right, as an industry. So
And as an industry, this right, this should be for everyone. That's the idea. For every country, every gender, every doesn't matter, right? And sometimes, most of the
yeah,
time, we only see a profile picture and the nickname, right? So
yeah,
it's what I like in crypto, that it can connect everyone from everywhere, and more or less everyone starts from the same spot. Doesn't matter if you are from the USA, Canada, Portugal, Europe, whatever, right?
yeah.
But how do you see the city influencer moment? I saw quite a few people that were retired coming back to crypto. I was asking like the city influencer moment, if you think that is
Oh,
pumping compared with last year.
not really. I think crypto Twitter has like never been worse. I don't really
Oh,
think we're
really?
gonna go. I don't think we're going back to crypto Twitter. No, I think like crypto Twitter is kind of over. And I think mainly that's because of like the algorithm changes. Like we saw the algorithm change like definitely around the beginning of this year.
Okay.
And that was really frustrating to a lot of people. That was like really, really frustrating. And obviously it sucks, like no matter what, like if you're a content creator, you know, you don't actually determine the way that your content is distributed, like the platform's algorithm does. So it's very frustrating. But yeah, there were like really huge changes. I think X like remade their algorithm, so it's like AI. I don't know really what happened. All I know is that numbers went down for a while,
Okay.
and it was very depressing. And now, I mean, sure, I see a lot of people I know on my feed, but I also probably see 50% of people I've never seen before that are just like viral posts. And like, sure, maybe the posts are funny, but it's not really like what it was where I would log on and I would see all these PFPs I know. And it was a big group. It was a community. It was very concentrated. Um, but I mean, it's also a blessing and a curse because prior to this update, you couldn't get your content distributed outside of the bubble. It was so fucking hard to do
Okay.
that. And now like you'll have random posts that go viral, and it's easy. It's a lot easier. But those followers really probably don't really matter that much. It's not really like, especially if you're like if crypto is your main industry, you don't maybe even really want you know, your content to be super distributed. But I mean, it's fine. It's just different. It's very different.
You just have to adapt, right? And everyone has to adapt. In terms of changes, you only post on Twitter, right? Or you still put your content on Instagram or other platforms?
Twitter is definitely my main platform, yeah.
But any reason why, or it's just because you get more monetization, or
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, Instagram is like so far outside of like I'm full-time crypto, you know? I run a startup inside of crypto. I feel like you know I'm a voice within crypto, so it's like that doesn't really translate outside. So it's kind of just like you're just sort of yelling into the void if you want to post about that on other platforms, and like I don't really have like the time or energy to create content for outside of crypto, like you know. So
yeah, yeah. I have a few Fast questions for you. Best Solana moment that you have created?
Good question. I mean, I think the microwave thing that we talked about was
Was a
hilarious.
good one.
Yeah.
Worst reply that you got on X?
I don't know. I
You
feel like
don't
there's
even.
like obviously there's people that will be like kill yourself, which I think is like
Yeah,
evil. So
one project or creator that you recommend to our public audience?
good question. So many
Anyone like
people I don't
new that
know.
started to create stuff and you see, oh, this person is actually.
Well, Fluffy is awesome. I feel like Fluffy is like the new top creator. He's like
Okay.
everywhere. And he's so funny. And he goes to every event. He's a really great guy. So I'm a big fan of his. Yeah, I don't know. Don't use a ton of don't post this. I don't use a ton of crypto stuff. I mean, like Solflare is really doing the best. Like they
Yeah.
are Solana, they're only Solana wallet. Like, I love that energy. Quix is great. So I use that.
It's funny how all projects now started to do the same approach that Solflare used as to grow
Yeah.
their Twitters. They do exactly the same thing. And against myself, I speak, right? Because everyone is doing a podcast or a Twitter Spaces. But I think Twitter Spaces is a bit 2021, 22 is not as much. But now podcasts is crazy. Everyone kind of copied the playbook, right? Do you feel that everyone copies the meta and just there's not much creativity sometimes?
It's so annoying, and it's like this is
Yeah.
what I mean by like there's less things to talk about in a bear market. It's like what the watches, the Amigo
Oh yeah,
watches.
yeah.
It's like, oh, how many freaking brands that I'm gonna have to see that AI their fucking brand onto a watch? I'm like, think harder, like do better. Like I don't care. Like, I'm not memeing that. It's dumb. It's everyone's done it. It's played out.
Yeah. Everyone copies yeah, and especially
Yeah, so annoying.
yeah. What annoys me is that they copy things that are not even funny or relevant, right?
Exactly, just because everyone's doing it. And then the algorithm is like, oh, you're doing that. You're going to get more views because everyone's doing it. And it's so dumb. I'm just so over it. It's very boring.
Anything that you want to mention that I forgot to ask you? Any project, anything that you are working that is not the ones we spoke about that you're excited about?
No, I think we covered a lot.
Was
That's good. So
was amazing.
what are your plans for the wood token?
Oh, the wood token. It's still going.
Yeah.
We use it for
Is it?
raffles. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We do
That's
internal
awesome.
raffles. Okay, it's not worth $10 like it was in the beginning, where I was getting $50 per day. But yeah, it is what it is. Everything went down, right? If you want to join, it's cheap community in terms of price, for floor price. More than welcome to have a go. Everyone is funny.
And
Thank
then
you so
all we
much.
need. Yeah.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
It was amazing. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, bye. Have a good day.
Chop, chop, the wood we carry. Chop, chop, never meant to bury. Fire runs through the grain. Nothing lost, nothing to claim. Chop, chop, keep it moving. Chop, chop, always flowing around the night. Voices arise in the dark. Truth survives.